Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
No. What a day.
Hello.
What a couple. Well, what a solid 36 hours. Craziness. But we'll talk about that in a minute. This is episode 176. And I've been thinking of ways to celebrate our 200th episode. So we'll probably be announcing that at the end of the year.
When will that be?
Exactly. I don't know. It'll 176. So you got to figure what, another 24 weeks.
Wonder if it could somehow correspond to our third year doing this. Wait, 2019 is when we June 2019.
Yeah, it's like 6 months.
Oh, it's our 4th anniversary.
Yeah, it'll be right before our anniversary, podcast anniversary, because it's 6 months from now, pretty much. Yeah. And, well, you know what? It could almost line up.
Yeah. I'll count it.
Yeah, because, yeah. So.
But, yeah, can't believe it's going to be 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to do something big, maybe do some collabs. Any podcasters out there? I like helping beginning podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone has any ideas, anyone that is kind of up and coming, but kind of doesn't have like a war chest to do like big things, we'll definitely collab with you. And, we'll share some of the stuff that we have. We'll even go in on prizes. So, because I have stuff that's pretty big that I want to give away. And, and it's going to be for certain things, like certain shows, certain movies that come out. And I haven't given them away, and they're like pretty expensive, but not pretty expensive. Pretty expensive if someone else bought them, if they don't have our connects, legal connects. But I would say that the way I feel about it is, if something is like a major thing, it shouldn't just. Yeah, it should be for just our audience if I was just being selfish. But I think some of our audience crosses over. They listen to other podcasts too. So we'd spread the love, and we would collab and put that particular prize up maybe among 2 or 3 podcasts. So they could, we could get like thousands of people, in on the giveaway. And so, and if it's big enough, it's worth it, right? So,
yeah. And
I wouldn't mind sponsoring that. I think that kind of stuff is fun, and I think listeners or anybody who's listening to any of our podcasts, we thank you. So, enough about that. We still have our Black Panther giveaway, and that is going to end
November 26th.
Yeah, right after Thanksgiving. So you're going to have to do the drawing. I think we're going to be separated by cities again.
Well, I'll be back Sunday.
Oh, will you? Okay.
Or Saturday or whatever.
Yeah. So, So basically, you just have to direct message us. Where would you like to visit as far as a fictional Disney place? Now, if it's a real Disney place, that's fine as well. But direct message us that to Rope Drop Your Knowledge at Instagram, Facebook, or info@ropedropyourknowledge.com. I don't think I did a blog this time. So probably just the 3. But for every time one you use, you get an additional entry. So, and that is for the Black Panther King of Wakanda lunchbox, the Black Panther tote in African colors, and the Corksicle Black Panther tumbler, which is very nice, high quality, and I felt it's actually better than Hydro Flask. I know I said it was comparable when I first did it, but then I felt it again. It's like actually better. So, yeah, Corksicle's coming up. So, yeah. And, must be 18 years older, live in the United States, and the winner will be drawn at random on the 27th. We will announce that winner then. And we still have a wallet to give away. No one found us.
Well, this is your last minute spur of the moment thing, but we'll be back at the park Saturday. And we'll be back at Paradise Pier Hotel as well.
Yeah, it was more...
Because after we went last time, we're like, oh, we're not coming back till December 9th.
Right.
And we're like, wow.
And I don't even know if that's for sure. But, hopefully.
Yeah,
that's on the calendar.
So we're like, and then you're like, oh, well, this Saturday's open. And then you booked it. And then I was looking for hotels. And I was like, wow, why is everything like $300 and above? And then you're like, well, then let's just stay at Paradise Pier if that's the case.
Well, they have a Magic Key discount right now.
Yeah, they're having a Magic Key discount, which is 20% off.
Yeah.
I know that's not much, but it's better than nothing.
Paradise Pier is a, like, for a lot of the people who are Walt Disney World people, Paradise Pier is probably the price of one of their lowest hotels. Like on property. The cool thing about Paradise Pier in California is that, like, you're still on property. It's not like you're taking a shuttle to get to the parks.
Right.
Matter of fact, Paradise Pier has its own entrance into
DCA.
California Adventure.
Yeah.
So it's a better deal than staying at a less expensive Disney property hotel in Florida, because you're not traveling like 2 miles to get to the gate.
Yeah, yeah.
You can just walk to the gate in literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it actually has its own gate. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. And then, yeah, I don't know if I would be just spontaneously doing like the Grand California.
Yeah. No, that's not even a gate. That's just you take the elevator down and you're there.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think most nights are like about $1,000 now, like a night.
Yeah.
So.
And then Disneyland Hotel, there's no private entrance. You're really close to downtown Disney, but then you got to walk through downtown Disney.
Disneyland Hotel is a tourist hotel.
Yeah, I don't get it. There's no.
There's really
entrance.
no benefit to staying there unless you just really want Magic Hour.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I guess the gate would be the monorail.
Yeah, the monorail. You can get the monorail.
But like, if you're staying at the far end of it, it's almost it's a longer walk than Paradise Pier.
Yeah.
Because the hotel's huge.
And then you got to sit in line, you get on the monorail. Like, it's like in the morning, you just want to get there, right? You don't want to be standing in line and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the point of all this is we will be back. And so the first person who finds us gets that wallet. I got a kind of a coworker. I never met her in person, just talked to her through Teams. But if she finds us, technically she's eligible.
We're going to be there?
Yeah. I mean, but a while ago, before I knew she was going to be there.
Oh.
So she knows. She doesn't know we have a wallet to give away, so I don't think she's going to be looking for us. But she might just look just to try to find me. But it's what it is. So yeah, find us before she does. And what else? Oh yeah, you can still get that Dooku pin if you listen.
Oh yes, the Count Dooku pin.
Because you could go back and listen to our Tales of the Jedi review, the last episode, and
175.
Mm-hmm. Get the instructions and all that.
So we still have the Count Dooku till tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's through Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, today's only the 17th. Sorry,
yeah.
I thought it was the 18th today.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what are we going to do first? We're going to talk about our food festival stuff or Magic Key stuff?
Let's get that Magic Key stuff over with.
Mm.
The big news over with. So
that was crazy.
Then the last 36 hours or 2 days, let's say, there was a roller coaster, right? There's Magic Keys went on sale for new. So do
we have
sales.
To do like they do at the beginning of every like Disney Plus show and do a recap? Like from the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody knows that for the last year or so, year and a half or whatever, new Magic Keys, people have been waiting to buy new Magic Keys because they stopped selling all Magic Keys, like maybe at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And then before that, they stopped selling the, I I forgot the name already.
Annual passes?
No, the highest
Oh,
key because of the
the
lawsuit.
Dream?
The Dream key, the highest key, and then they stopped the Believe key, which is the second highest key. So people who were current key holders were grandfathered in and we could renew. However, anyone who didn't buy Magic keys before that couldn't buy new keys.
Mm-hmm.
So even with the renewal, there was no word and we didn't know if we could renew. Anyways, finally they announced that they're selling Magic keys again yesterday at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't find out until maybe a little bit before 9 a.m., maybe 8 a.m. There was no announcement from Disney. There was just content creators and spying on the site or whatever. I don't know what they were doing. So then everybody got in the queue, waited more than an hour, whatever it is. I mean, my friend was waiting till like 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still like, she was on at like 9:30 or something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you told Christina and Kevin.
We told our cousins. And our cousins didn't know about it until we told them. And I sent them a link. People. Yeah, and I sent them a link. Well, I posted the link on our stories too, directly to go to the queue. Because the link will not tell you the prices or anything. Once you click on compare or whatever, it just takes you to a queue now. Well, I mean, not now, but yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody waited. And then as of this morning, there was still a queue. It's like, hang tight. But then at 11:06 a.m., they said Believe key was sold out. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. And then back up. Yesterday, Magic keys were on sale again, except for the Enchant key. So that we thought that was weird. Enchant's not even the lowest, right? Enchant is the second to lowest. But maybe it's open to everybody because the lowest one is only for SoCal residents.
Yeah.
Or California or whatever. So anyways, so we thought that was weird. Only 3 keys were available. Okay, whatever. And then as of 11:06 this morning, when people went into the queue, first of all, they're in a queue again. Usually you're not in a queue by the time, the next day.
Right.
So they're in the queue, and then on the bottom, it's at 11:06, it said that Believe key is no longer available. Believe in Enchant is no longer available. So Enchant has never been available, but now Believe key is no longer available. And then it said something about, what did it say? It says, at this time, Enchant and Believe key are not available for new purchases. All other passes are currently still available for purchase. But then at the top it says, if passes are available when it's your turn, you'll have 10 minutes to enter the site. At this point, the wait time is still approximately more than an hour on the second day.
Wow.
So it's like, what in the world? Anyhow.
But see, the thing is I think those things are random. Because some of the people we know got it, and then some people were waiting.
Yeah.
And it's like, some of the people who got it started after the people who were waiting.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know. And I was going to say that, I mean, it wasn't Disney related, but I was going to say the same thing about Comic-Con. I took screenshots. We actually ended up getting Comic-Con for Friday, for 2023. But me and Tracy both had our computers open, I think around the same time. I think I might even had it open before you. Mm-hmm. And yet, a good 45 minutes before mine became available, yours popped up.
Well, Comic-Con tells you it's a lottery.
Right.
Disney doesn't tell you, so everyone's assuming it's a queue. They call it a queue.
Yeah.
So in Comic-Con, they call it the waiting room.
Right.
And then they tell you it's a lottery, randomly selected. Mm-hmm. Here they call it a queue, so everyone's assuming it's a queue. It's a line, right? Anyways. So 11:06 a.m. They said Believe key sold out. More than an hour wait. I don't know who waited today. And then at 4:40 p.m. it says all Magic keys sales are halted, or what's the actual wording here? Due to it says the queue has closed. And here's the kicker. Here's what they said, the reason why. They said, due to the incredible popularity of Magic Key program, we have stopped sales of new passes at this time to help protect the experience for Magic Key holders and the value those passes provide. You've been complaining that we don't pay attention to you. We are. We're limiting it, so now that you have it.
So here's the thing. I made a meme, and a lot of you've seen it. It's on TikTok and Facebook and the thing.
And Instagram, yeah.
It inspired me, the whole ticket thing. So I made like a Thanos meme. You guys could go check it out. Some of our podcast friends were nice enough to share it, and yeah, it was basically you couldn't live with your own fare, And what did that bring you? Then it's Thanos. And I put unfavorables back to me. And now you might say, well, yeah, okay. They were in the first screen of the meme was the stock dropping and, JPEG in panic mode because it's about JPEG. You could say, well, they stopped selling. So do they really need the unfavorables? Here's the thing. When did they advertise this? When did they promote this?
Never.
Right. So who would know about it?
The unfavorables.
Exactly. What they wanted to do, in my opinion, was to get some quick cash in, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know how many they sold. They probably sold,
enough.
A lot. Yeah. Obviously a lot, but, they probably had a set number, and they knew that number before. It wasn't like, oh, no, it's getting too big, and now we have to make a decision to stop it. They knew when they were going to stop it. They knew the number. And what they were thinking probably is that, this goes directly to the theory that I've been saying for the last 2 years. And I think they finally figured it out. Quote unquote, unfavorables are the ones who keep you afloat during hard times. Mm-hmm. We're the multi-generational people. We're the ones who went with our parents, possibly grandparents, the ones who are going to bring our kids.
Oh, yeah. So they're trying to get the people who didn't renew to rethink it and go ahead and renew.
The reason, the last earnings call where you had, Kramer on CNBC News saying, I'm going to fire Chapek. Mm-hmm. Well, what's his name? Johnny posted that clip. Mm-hmm. Podcast DMSW. Big clip. It went, a lot of people saw it. So, yeah. And when Kramer says that, he's not the brightest guy in the world. He's the one who was like, don't worry during the housing crisis, So it's not like I'm a big fan of his, but he's been on CNBC, I don't know, 25 years or so. He's a big deal when it comes. And when he says, I'm firing Chapek, metaphorically, obviously, that hurts. When the business community turns on you, that's when you're in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. Fans can turn on you all you want. It's kind of like, I call it the Shkreli paradigm. Remember Martin Shkreli? He was the guy, the farmer bro, and he's the guy who I think he was in charge of an equity fund, and they had control over this medication. I think it was an AIDS medication, and he made it like 100x in price or something. It was huge. Mm-hmm. It was huge. And everybody was coming down on him. He ended up going to prison. He didn't go to prison for price gouging AIDS patients. That's fine. People, the laws will allow that. He went to prison because he ripped off rich people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it was another thing. So the moral of the story is you can do whatever you want to working class, middle class people. You start messing with shareholders and big time shareholders when they're starting to mention your name in the negative on CNBC.
Yeah, that's
your ass. Mm-hmm. And that's what CEOs are scared of. And the unfavorable button is behind, like, in case of emergency, break glass. He broke that glass. And he's like, we got to get these people. Yeah, because there's also all these recession, like I was saying before. The recession is is already here. Uh-huh. It's just a lot of people haven't felt it yet.
Yeah.
And I think all the finance people know. All his people know, because he's all into he hired finance people to replace creative people. Mm-hmm. Chapek did. Mm-hmm. They're all telling them, well, if this is bad, next year's going to be worse.
Yeah.
And so what did he do? What did that bring
Opened
him?
up the floodgates.
Back to us.
He opened the faucet, turned on the faucet for a little while to get some money in, and then turned it off before.
Well, he wanted to get people in who are going to put Disney as one of their top priorities if they have a pass. Mm-hmm. That's what unfavorables are. He doesn't like us when we're taking up the space in line where some rich foreign family is there, just to kind of check out Americana, and they're going to drop 20 grand, but they'll never come back. Mm-hmm. That's who he was catering to. Mm-hmm. But the people who are actually come there, they might only drop $100. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But they will come month after month after month, and he was going to ignore them.
When I said last week going to Disneyland is more expensive than Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I think I must have dropped like $350
well, that's
in
not
one
stuff.
day.
But I'm saying the average Magic key holder is somebody who likes being at Disney. They like the environment.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're just there to be there.
The fresh baked people.
Yes.
Fresh bake ain't dropping $300-$400 when he goes.
Yeah.
Even though he's making money, even though when he makes money, he makes money off of going to Disney. He ain't dropping $300-$400 when he goes, even though he'll get it all back.
Yeah.
He'll go there and get a churro.
Sometimes for once in a month, maybe he'll do like all these treats, eat all these foods, and be like, okay, I'm done. Kind of like just to review new foods.
That ain't $400 though.
Yeah. I know.
That's still like
He's
$50.
still spending money on food, but it ain't $400.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's my point is he's like the top of the unfavorables. Mm-hmm. He's king unfavorable. You know what I mean? And he ain't dropping $400. So your average family or just couple or whoever who gets a Magic Key or an annual pass, who happens to live in L.A., Anaheim, Orange County, San Diego, Riverside, who is just getting there because, hey, that's our weekend thing.
Right.
They're not going to drop hundreds of dollars. They're going to drop the same amount of money that other people go and do other things on the weekend.
Yeah.
When other people go out to a restaurant, restaurants can be nice. Hey, let's go out once a month into a nice restaurant. They're probably dropping $100, $200. Mm-hmm. Some people, they go to plays. Mm-hmm. Some people go to football games. Those things, those are the equivalents. That's what Disney's competing with. And so some people choose Disney as their thing.
Yeah.
They're not going to the Raiders game, the Chargers game, Dodgers game. They want to go to Disney first.
Yeah.
And so what he did was he said, hey, we need those people back because all those rich people that I was catering to, they might not be coming around next year. Mm-hmm. Their portfolios aren't looking so good. And I can tell because mine's not looking so good. I'm only worth, $20-something million this year and not instead of, 50-something. So, yeah. And so let's open the gates and let's get these people back in. It's almost like allowing goats into your yard to eat the trash. That's what it feels like. Seriously. It's like,
so why not just leave it open? Why did he close it so short?
Because he didn't want. He wants the loyal people there. So, and this is my point. He wants a certain type of unfavorable right now. He doesn't want new unfavorables. He
wanted the people who didn't renew to have second thoughts, a second chance.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? I'm opening it up again. Yeah. So,
and the only people who would know that are the ones who are the most loyal, the ones who are constantly following Disney's.
Even if they didn't renew. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones who are constantly on social media. This was not a Disney announcement. Let's keep that's my point. This was not if he didn't care what type of person bought the pass.
Yeah. Okay.
They would have made an announcement.
They would.
And they would have said, hey, we're going to, on this date, we're going to be selling passes. It's going to be a limited in number. It would have been open transparency. Yeah, the systems would have crashed because they never prepared for anything like that. But, it would have been like an Oogie Boogie Bash type of event. A lot of people would have lined up to get them. And that would have been that, and everybody would be like, cool. Right now, you have people who are like, oh, it's open. Okay, well, I get paid Friday. So, honestly, I get paid tomorrow. I get paid on Friday, right? If I was one of these people, if I was one of those people, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, Friday, that's great. I'll just get it Friday.
Because who has thousands and thousands hanging around? And this is what...
Well, the favorables do, but they're not coming anymore. That's the issue. So he wants the unfavorables back, at least for the meantime,
Right.
to get them through the lean times. He wants them for the mean times to get them through the lean times. That's the line. He don't want them any other time, though. Because you got to figure, this is the third cancellation of passes in, 3.5 years? The first one was with the pandemic.
Yes.
The second, then they got rid of the annual pass program, brought in the Magic Keys post-lockdown. Started that again, stopped it. And that's the second stoppage. Brought them back again this time, stopped it in a day.
But we thought that they stopped it because of the lawsuit. Maybe not, huh? Maybe they thought it wasn't profitable.
I think
they just used the lawsuit as an excuse.
I think the same way they brought in a reservation system and the stoppage of cancellation of annual passes during the pandemic. It's like, oh, it's because of the pandemic. Maybe. It's kind of like when gas prices go up and you blame certain things. It's like, oh, the oil companies will say, there's a war.
Yeah,
it's like, well, wait a minute.
And
the analysts are saying that you're actually producing more barrels than why is it? Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. I'm looking at the Magic Key. They didn't. You know how people found out is that Scott Gustin guy tweeted it, and I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a cast member, but he is a source that people use, and it was his tweet that said annual pass Magic Keys are going to be sold today at 9 a.m. All keys, but like he's detailed, so it's like I'm not sure if he's some corporate person or PR. I don't know if you guys content creators follow his Twitter for news, for latest Disney news. But he's the one who posted, not an official Disney, account or anything.
Right.
But I don't know. He's somebody at Disney. Maybe he's some news or marketing or whatever.
Yeah. But
it wasn't anything from Disney.
No, not an official announcement. They knew who that it's going to find out about it. It's the people who are constantly drooling for them to open up the Magic Key, and that's who's going to get them through this next couple years. Because, like I said, you don't want to price these people out. You don't want to disrespect these people. You don't want them to have their childhood, memories crushed. Because they're going to be the ones who are going to always have loyalty until you push them too far. And once you push them too far, they're never coming back.
So they opened it for a quick 36 hours. But they want to stop now because they don't want it to get out and convert the tourist people to becoming
No, they don't want any. Yeah,
key holders?
The loyal people got the passes. At least
for the 36 hours.
Let's say they sold 20,000 passes. I don't know how many they sold. Right, okay. I'm just throwing out a number.
Right,
and that was their number to stop at. Out of those 20,000 people, the diehard loyalists probably would count of 19,000 of those, and then another 1,000 were people who just got lucky.
To know, yeah,
they happened to check their Instagram that day and like, oh, and then got it,
right? So they don't want any more.
No.
People to convert to unfavorable, basically.
Right. They don't want new unfavorables.
Right.
They just want the current unfavorables to get them through the hard next couple years.
Yeah. So let's just say in your scenario, 20,000, they looked and they said, wait, 20,000 people didn't renew. That's the number. We're going to open it up to stop.
Right.
Right. To make up for the people who didn't renew. Because we want that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was a time window. I think it was a number
of
passes sold, and maybe a number for each type too, Yeah. And once they hit those numbers, that's when, Believe Key went fast. Boom, it's down. Then the next one, boom.
And Enchant Key had reached the maximum already and it never went on sale.
Yeah. Why didn't that go on sale?
100% of Enchant Keys renewed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or close to it, yeah. Enough to where they're not going to open it up again.
Right.
At least right now. So they have a number. And this may, they may have always had a number. And that's what
somebody
the thing
was
is.
talking about, I think it was Fresh Bake, who was saying, like, there is this magical number they have for them to stop or whatever, this threshold. We just don't know what that number is, but there is a number.
Right. Because I remember when they first announced the Magic Key program, there was that fine print that says, well, limited, Well, supplies last.
Subject to availability or something. Yeah.
Well, no, that was the reservation system, but it was like, supplies last.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone ignored it because they said, "Oh yeah, the old annual."
I freaked out about it because I read everything.
Yeah, but
And
you're a contracts lawyer.
What are they? They're saying this, and then everyone was like, "Oh, don't freak out about that because it's always there. That language is always
That's
there."
what I said. They said it was on the old system, and we're like, "Well, I never read it because I don't read as much as you. You read everything." But everyone's like, "Don't freak." And then what happened? They stopped it. And the thing is they probably wish they could have done it with the old system. And there was probably too much renewals and too many things going back and forth to where. And Iger is probably just not the guy who would always, like, nope, let's let as many people in as we can. And you guys just have to manage it.
Yeah.
You know, Chapek is more like, no, let's let the right people in. And that's the difference between the two CEOs.
I wonder how this all is going to go out in terms of media.
Media hasn't even really reported on it.
Yeah, well, it's too short, you know. But after all this, like, oh look, Magic Keys went on sale for 36 hours, and then all of a sudden it stopped, or whatever. I'm just wondering what it would sound like. Yeah, or maybe nothing.
I don't think there's going to be anything. I think there's too much in the news, and like you said, the window was too short, and we're going into a weekend, and then the holidays coming up. I mean, we just had the midterms. There's just too much. Trump's running for president again, so you're happy. And so, yeah, a lot going on. It was a good time to do it. It was a good time to do it. It was a great time to do this little experiment because no one's paying attention.
Except for us unfavorables.
Except for the people who actually got the tickets because those are the people who they wanted to get the ticket. There's going to be people who are like, hey, I wanted to get one of those tickets that we were thinking about getting them for years. And it's going to be like, yeah.
Let me text my friend and see if she actually got it because she was the one that waited for like 9 hours yesterday.
Yeah, we'll see. But it is what it is. Business as usual. Business is unusual.
I know. Business is unusual.
But yeah, they have a magic number and they stuck to it.
But then there's also like I have it in dot points, but might as well talk about it now. But the cutbacks. They said that they have a hiring freeze and layoffs coming up. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
How are they? But then he said that the demand's so high, they need to keep up with demands. Well, how do you keep up with high demand when you're slashing staff or cast members?
It depends who they cut. It's like any other thing. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cut people like ride operators and things of that nature.
Like park staff, but maybe like engineers.
Administrative stuff.
Yeah, accounting.
Yeah, I mean, this has been done for years. It's like we know that you can put... And this is kind of like the double-edged sword of a recession because if let's say you're a team of 3, right? And I cut 2 people. And now you're the only one left. But instead of like giving you any type of support, you have to do the work of 3 people. But it's a recession. What are you gonna do? Quit? Where are you gonna go? So that's the double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
So we went through the Great Resignation. A recession will flip that.
Yeah.
And now everyone's going to be clinging to their job even if they hate it because they don't have other options.
Yeah.
So that's probably what's going to happen. Now, if I was OSHA, I'd be concerned. Or if I was somebody, if I was the legal department, I would be concerned because you want to make sure that, especially with rides, you want to make sure that the people are properly trained and, that you cut, if, you want safety because you remember there are 4 pillars, and safety is one of them. So hopefully, I hope they're not cutting
that's not
ride staff
where they're going to cut corners, maybe, but still some cast members are worried. Because it's uncertain times,
Yeah. But there was a lot of. I think what they're going to do is you can do layoffs through attrition as well. So every year there's a certain amount of people who retire, And there's a certain amount of people who just quit for various reasons. It's not always because they hate their job. It's because I'm moving or this was my college job and I'm graduating. And so most layoffs, well, it's not, layoffs aren't through attrition, but most cuts are through attrition. So they could save money by just not replacing the people who are naturally going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
So there's probably a certain percentage. And then they can layoffs, when you say that, that just automatically bumps the stock price. So they didn't reach the earnings call, so the stock plummeted 12%, which was huge. And so if you say layoffs, even though that's a bad word to the average person, to Wall Street, that's a good word.
Yes.
And they'll bump it because labor is always a high cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Now, if you could say layoffs and they might only lay off, 100 people. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know the number on that. He just said it because that's going to bump the stock price, and they probably will.
Yeah, I guess it is a trend because Amazon is laying off people. Obviously Twitter. So I guess it's a trend.
Well, it's not even a trend. It's
Not
just
trend,
it
but
happens during certain economic times.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, all right.
Well, that's interesting.
So,
But on to happier things. We'll talk about our first visit at the
holiday food
Festival of Holidays.
Yeah.
Adventure. So we checked in at Paradise Pier, and we'll talk about the cast member. We do the cast member spotlight for him next time. The person who checked us in.
We can talk about it this time.
Okay. Person who checked us in, Rex. He was
Rex
really
is awesome.
nice. He's really awesome.
From Thousand Oaks.
From Thousand Oaks on his name tag. Rex from Thousand Oaks. He was really detailed. Even though we've been there before, it's nice to just have him explain the whole thing, the map and all the activities.
He took time. He was really detailed. I mean, he didn't know. Obviously, he didn't know who. We have a podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, his just attention to detail was great, and he just kind of like walked us through everything. And even though we knew a lot of the stuff already, I just like listening to him. It was cool,
Yeah.
He's very helpful.
And then he asked us if we were celebrating anything. And we just said, we just celebrated an anniversary. He's like, how many years? And we said 7. So he made us the happily ever after button. But he made it, he put 7 and he put 22. Yeah. So that was cool. He gave us 2 buttons and he wrote on it.
Yeah.
So that was a good check-in experience.
He was a cool guy. We'll put a picture up on him. I took a picture of him.
Yeah.
He knew it because he posed. I asked him if we could. So, And then we have to remember to do that, shout out on the app.
Yes.
So.
So then we walked over to DCA and bought the Sip and Savor Pass. Annual Magic Key holders get a discount, so like it's $54 for us. And you get a special lanyard if you're a Magic Key holder. And then I did that thing where I bought all my, I ordered all my food, used up all my tabs at one booth. Yeah. Because you can order food at one booth for the other booths.
It's more convenient that way.
More convenient. So you don't have to stand in 2 lines. Later on, you just pick up at a...
So for people who don't understand, it's like when you go to a booth, you order and then you have to pick up.
Yeah,
and it's 2 lines. One to order, one to pick up. You could technically order food for any booth at one booth.
Yes.
And then just go to the pickup line at the other booth.
Yeah.
So you're basically standing in only one order line for the whole day.
And usually, because I did it right at 11 a.m. when they opened, and usually they're okay. Towards the end of the night, sometimes the most popular items, they're like, that one's a popular one that may be already sold out over there, so we can't sell you this. But in the early morning, they'll do it. So then I met this cast member at one of the booths. It was like, I forgot the name of the booth. But anyways, and his name tag said, had his name from Los Angeles, and his name's Kirk from Los Angeles. But underneath his name tag, it says, I speak Vietnamese. Right. In Vietnamese. I'm illiterate Vietnamese. I can't read, but I can speak. But I can't read, but I can tell it's Vietnamese, right? So I was like, I'm Vietnamese. And then he started speaking Vietnamese with me. So I tried to order all this food in Vietnamese, which was like weird because he was encouraging me to speak Vietnamese, right? So anyways, so yeah, we're speaking Vietnamese, and then he's like, "Where are you from?" And I said San Diego, and then I asked him, like, he drives all the way from LA to here to work, and he's like, it's about 45 minutes. I was like, man, I don't know about that. I mean, I work from home, so I don't know. Driving 45 minutes is a long time. Anyways, so then he says, like, he's been to the parks with his kids 7 times this year. And I asked him, do cast members have blockout dates? And he said no. I mean, they still have to make reservations, but they aren't blockout dates. So they kind of have the Inspire key or whatever. But, yeah, so that was pretty cool, having, like, the cast members speaking Vietnamese, so that's cool.
Did 2 double cast member spotlight.
Yeah. So then after that, we picked up a few items, you know, the popular stuff, you know, the, what do you call it? Adobe pork belly. Kirk told me, like, don't forget about the pork belly, you know, in Vietnamese. So I was like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to order that. So I ordered all 8. I used up all 8 of my tabs in one thing. And so they give you a receipt, and you keep that receipt because when you go pick up the food, you give the cast member the receipt at the booth, and they mark it off if they already gave it to you. So this receipt I had to keep all day. Anyways, then we went and got our maple butter rum, that drink that we
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut maple butter rum. And we started with that actually before we even ordered food. That was our breakfast. It was our first meal of the day. And then
my favorite drink at Disney.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite drink at Disney.
It seems weaker this year. I don't know. I didn't feel anything. I mean, I didn't taste anything, and I didn't feel it. Last year was strong, but anyways. So
Don't
we had
badmouth it.
We had
It's
that.
the best drink.
It tastes good, but what was it, like $16? $32 for 2. So yeah, $16 a pop. So we
don't get
that.
discounts for alcohol.
Yeah.
So
And you can't use the tap, obviously.
yeah, you can't use a tab either.
So then we went, after we ate the 2 things, we went back to get more maple butter rum, I think.
Yeah.
And then by 12 o'clock, they were sold out of hazelnut maple butter rum. And then I saw on the list that a place called Santa's Treats has it. And so we went, Treats for Santa.
No, the cast member told us.
And the cast member, well, I had it on my list that Treats for Santa also has it, but I didn't know where that was. So I asked the cast member, where is that? He's like, oh, right here, where the Creek Trail, whatever, Red Creek Challenge Trail or something is, and that's a place where we rarely frequent.
Yeah.
So
it's so hidden.
It's hidden.
It's super
But
hidden.
it's where kids can run around and go on these trails and do all that.
Parents can drink.
Well, no, they just run around and get
I know, but that's why they put it there. Why else would they put it there? Kids can't get it.
Oh, yeah, but you mean the rum thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's at these streets. It's like a tiny little cart. And the main thing at that cart is to buy cookie making kit. So kids buy cookies and they have the icing.
Cookie decorating kit, actually.
Yeah, cookie decorating kit. So there's a cookie and then they decorate. So there's a bunch of kids there decorating cookies. And here Brian and I are just sitting there with our rum. So they had maple butter.
But they didn't have whipped cream.
They ran out of whipped cream. We're like, who cares about the whipped cream? Just give me the rum.
Whipped cream actually does make it better, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So
that was our second one.
That was our second? Really? Yeah. Oh, we had the one and then it sold out. So we did. Okay. Wow. So that was our second one. And then
then we went on Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, we went to look for popcorn buckets.
Oh yeah.
Remember
I'm just on the rum journey. I'll tell you how we got our third.
Yeah, no. We went to get a popcorn bucket. I was on a mission to find 2 of those musical tin popcorn buckets that I posted, and it was unique. Disney's never had such a unique popcorn bucket before, and that wasn't at DCA at all. I went to every popcorn stall, and they had the Toy Story one because it was Pixar over at Disney DCA. So we're like, okay, wait till after 1. We went over to Disneyland. Saw the popcorn bucket line. It looks long, but it was only 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They were pretty quick.
Yeah. But it did wrap around like the tape.
Yeah. So then we got
for
that.
For popcorn bucket line, it was long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like figure.
It wasn't
6 hours.
No, from a time standpoint, but for the amount of people waiting, it was long.
Yeah. So then we went back to the room to drop off the buckets. And then what did we do? Then we went.
We came out because we got Genie Plus, so we went to Goofy Sky School.
Okay, and then we got a rum.
Well, and then we went to. Then we were just not going to go to Toy Story, but then I wanted to test it because it was already like 10 minutes past the time for Toy Story, and we're just like, we won't go. But I'm like, you know what? Since we were already walking in that direction, I was like, I'm curious. Let's test it, and it still came up and it worked. So if you're at least 10 minutes, I don't know about further than 10 minutes, but as long as your thing still shows up, they're going to give you some leeway.
Yeah.
The computer,
as long as
system.
your barcode still shows up. Yeah.
Right. So we ended up going on there. And then after that, you went to find a seat at Sonoma Terrace.
And you got more rum.
And I didn't tell you, but I came back with 2 more rums.
2 more rums, and I didn't know, and I ordered 2 Brother Thelonious.
Which was great.
And then I was like, well, let me go get the 2 things that I wanted, 2 more things at another booth.
Yeah, because mostly Kosher was playing it.
Yeah, or the rest of the things. But first I made a stop at the Favorite Things booth to get the chicken tiki masala and the alcoholic cold brew. So then I went there, picked it up, and then they're like, oh, the cold brew is out of whipped cream. Like, okay, the second time something's out of whipped cream is in short supply. Yeah. I was like, well,
I don't think we need to, for the rest of our Disney thing, I don't really get the alcoholic cold brew thing. I mean, it tastes great.
Taste it because,
but I mean, every time there's a cold brew or something, it's like we kind of get it, and it's kind of like, meh.
Yeah, it was meh because they didn't have whipped cream.
Yeah,
because it's the.
But even when they do, it's kind of like,
what was it? Hold on.
But it's I guess I'm saying
it was the churro toffee cold brew.
Yeah, so
with cocktail, but maybe my Vietnamese sucked. I was supposed to order the cocktail one, but I ordered the regular one.
And you were talking to Kirk.
When I was talking to Kirk, and I probably, bad Vietnamese, whatever. And so when I went to pick it up, the guy's like, there's no more whipped cream. Is that okay? And I was like, oh, that's okay. The alcohol will overpower it. And he's like, oh, you ordered the normal one, not the alcohol one. I was like, oh, man, what the hell? And so he's like, oh, wait, that's okay. I can give you I'll walk you over to the order booth because he's at the pickup line. He walked me over to the order line, left everyone standing there by themselves. I was like, it's okay. He's like, no, I'll help you. So he went above and beyond, right? And they refunded me. And then, charge me for the alcohol one. And then I came back and I was like, okay, so I'll pick up this alcoholic one and pick up my chicken tiki masala or whatever. And then they mark off my receipt, give me the receipt back for the rest of the stuff, right? Because everything's on one receipt. And I thought I put it in my pocket. Because I was like all flustered because the guy had he was helping me and he had a whole line behind him. And I'm like, don't help me, help them, and I felt like I had to hurry up.
Lumptum.
Yeah.
So I speak better Vietnamese than you. And the word of the day is lumptum. And Tracy's entire family is lumptum family.
And what does that mean?
That means you get scattered. And in you guys' case, you get scattered and hyper when you're about to have fun.
Anyways, well, no, it's because
your mom, your sister, not so much,
because there was people there waiting. There was a huge line to pick up because the guy left everyone there to go help me.
You get lumped them in the house before we leave.
Yeah, I forgot my contacts. I couldn't see, so I had to wear my glasses.
So, when any of you who have children, like, and you're about to go somewhere fun, to the park,
I
to the
leave
zoo.
the kid at home, like in Home Alone.
When you see that
I
energy
forget
from the kids,
kid.
and the kids are just like, and they forget their jackets, they forget to use the bathroom. That's
Yeah,
how
I'd forget the kid.
that's how Tracy and her mom are.
I'd forget the kid, like in Home Alone.
Yeah. He'd be fighting off burglars.
But anyways, I got back with the cold brew and the food, and I realized, where's my receipt? So I lost my receipt, which is I had like 4 things left. So I basically lost the rest of. I used up 8. I used 8. I paid for 8 tabs, but I only used 4.
Yep.
Because I lost my
Lumptum
receipt.
tax.
Whatever. This is your fault for not helping me.
I was saving the seats. I'd rather get up and go if you'd save the seats.
No, I'm never going to do that again. I'm going to keep my tabs and just order and stand in line one at a time. Because the sip and savor pass goes around your neck. You can't lose that. A little piece of receipt, like I have no place to put it. And then he's handing me my food, so I have nowhere to put my receipt. So I must have dropped it or something. I know. So I was really mad.
Yeah. We're at Disney.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the night was fun, but still, it's like, this is annoying.
First world problems.
Yeah.
All right. I should be mad. I'm the one who paid for it.
I know.
I'm not mad. I was having one of the best days
So,
of the
yeah,
year.
we sat down, watched mostly Kosher.
For like 3 or 4 sets.
3 or 4 sets. They were really fun. And then we had to drink all these drinks. And then
That was fun.
also, we were there for a while at Sonoma Terrace. Because we had to finish all these drinks.
Well, I even left and went and got Taste Talk
you
stuff.
left and went and got the Taste Talk stuff. I'm like, you go for a change. No, you wanted to go. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure you know what you're doing? So,
yeah. No, I don't know what I'm doing.
you're going to get lost. I'm going to be sitting here by myself.
God forbid I drop a ticket.
Yeah. If I could drop a ticket, you can drop like a drink or a piece of chicken or something, you know, while you're walking. It's a far walk.
You sound like Disney. For your own good, I don't know if you should be doing that.
Yeah. Your own good.
But
anyway, so then we got another, I guess they refilled the rum, right? When you went and got it. And we got another one.
Yeah. Because there was no line. Everyone is so used to them selling out that, like, when it gets in the evening, people don't even ask anymore. and they actually had it.
Yeah,
the cast member even said, "Why do people keep asking if I'm sold out? They still have it." So, and the last time we only got one, so I think I just overdid it. And I was like, every time they have it, I'm going to get it. If there's a short line, I'm going to get it.
Yeah, we probably spent $100 in
And it was just on that rum.
hazelnut maple butter rum.
Worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. So then we watched Fat Cat Swingers, the other band.
Yeah.
And they were
They're
really
great.
cool. Like, they shared our stories. They started following us and everything. So the lead singer.
Yeah.
So
that band is like a totally different vibe from Mostly Kosher. And if you see both of them in one night, it Mostly Kosher is just kind of like a vibing thing, but you're sitting down and you're just kind of like enjoying
really
the
personal,
music.
yeah.
And it's fun. But then Fat Cat Swingers, man, it's like you're
it's
dancing.
more of the rockabilly, right?
It's big band rockabilly.
Yeah.
And they're like, they have people dancing in front of them, and it's fun. And we had a good view. I started dancing, but I don't know if
you have to post that.
I don't know about that.
I went live. I didn't know if I did it right.
My pirate dance.
I went live for both of the performances, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Only Dole Float was watching. I'm just kidding.
Well, I went live and I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, you were there for 5 seconds and you went on. We were like, we didn't even get a chance to say hi.
And I was like, huh? With Brother Thelonious and hazelnut buttered rum.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So it was a fun
You guys
night.
can message us, or, because Tracy reads all the messages if you want to see me dancing. So hopefully nobody's hearing this. And
it was in the live, but the live was so long because I tried to capture the entire performance.
Yeah.
So it's in the live, but if you are patient enough to watch the whole thing, you can see.
Yeah, we could clip it, but yeah.
Yeah, you did clip it, so I should post it.
Nah. Only if there's a demand.
So that's why we had so much fun that Brian wanted to come back this Saturday.
Yeah, because once we get off Tracy's Lumpdom agenda and it's not concentrating on food, now we can go on rides. Because it wasn't, because I told, that's like we always say, there's food days, there's ride days, there's merch days, right?
Yeah, that was a food day.
Food day, a little bit of merch day because we had to get the buckets. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like a big merch day, like Christmas
Even
shopping.
though we did get Genie Plus, we only went on 2 rides. And it was harder to get, because when we were there, a lot of the rides were not, like the first ride was not available till 2:40.
Yeah.
So it is getting harder. And I know, like I told the 2 podcasts, Make It Magical and DNSW, because, you know, how they loathe Genie Plus. So I was like, yeah, I can see it. With us, we didn't mind because we were making it a food day and not a ride day. But if we were, and we were coming back, but if we were an out-of-town couple and we're like, dude, I can only get on 3 rides today, we'd be mad if we paid $50. We did pay like $48.
Yeah, because they did jack it up this time.
Yeah, we paid $48 only because we got the 20% discount.
Yeah.
So it was probably $30 each person.
Yep. Yeah.
So I can see the frustration.
But we did get there a little late, so.
Yeah, but before when we got there,
I know.
we still would able to.
It was a packed day.
It was, unusually packed. That was strange to see DCA so packed.
Yeah.
During the day.
Maybe because it's the first Saturday of the food festival, so I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, people were excited about the first day of the holiday.
Yeah.
Decorations.
People
and
love
food.
holidays. So.
Yeah. So it was unusually packed for that random Saturday. We'll see how it is this weekend, but I think this weekend will be a ride day.
Yeah.
We'll start at Disneyland and do Genie Plus the proper way.
Yep.
So.
Okay. All right. Well.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
So we got the peri peri chicken.
Yeah. We'll discuss the food festival stuff throughout the food festival.
Yeah. I mean, we have like the whole month of December. Yeah. So we thought we would talk about the food from the Flavors of Wakanda booth.
Right.
So, reminder, we went and saw the Friday before, the day before, we did see Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
So we were in that.
I guess now we're not going to review it until it's on Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll give something away or something. So yeah, we had the peri peri chicken. It was flavored chicken with like this yellow jollof rice.
Yeah.
And it was a big portion for only $9.
2 drumsticks.
2 drumsticks and rice.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it was pretty, for Disney prices, it was good.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot. We each got a drumstick. The rice was good. It's surprisingly simple, but sometimes simple done right is really good.
Yeah.
So it's not like, if you look at it, it's like, well, it's just chicken and rice, you know, but
the way it's flavored though.
But they did it right. And then the flavor is good. The seasoning is good. And so, yeah, definitely a thumbs up. I think it's something that you would probably, I don't think people would buy it if it was just at a booth. Because it's, you know, it was the whole Wakanda thing, and Wakanda had its own special booth, and so I think that's what attracted people to it. But it was actually a good, you know, again, for Disney prices. I'm not saying you can't get that at, you know, it's street food, and, you know, in the 626 probably cost you like $3. But,
yeah, that's true.
But for Disney prices, you know, $9 for this type of portion was good, and the taste was good, and it was very flavorful. And I got it at night. I mean, well, not night, but it was dark already. Yeah. And the reason that's important is sometimes the quality, especially during food festivals at DCA, go down the later it gets. And that was still very good. Because sometimes they run out of stuff. Sometimes they run out of seasoning. Sometimes they, like with certain, like we had sliders that were cold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they did this right.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And then the second thing from the same Wakanda booth was the Dawa cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's vodka, lemonade, honey, ginger beer with butterfly peach tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of alcohol this episode, folks.
Yeah. And that was like $18.25. That was more than the rum, the butter rum or whatever.
I know.
So anyways, that was a really good cocktail though.
Well, had vibranium in it. Expensive.
Yeah, it's purple. Even though your picture's kind of blurry.
Yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, so we enjoyed and then there was that little Wakanda celebration area.
So yeah, the Dawa, I would say less recommended than the chicken because it was refreshing, but I think it was overpriced for what it was.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you just wanted to try it, it's a good drink.
Yeah.
But, and if you just want to like share it with your, whoever you came with, like two people can sip on it and be like, oh, that's cool. We tried like a drink from Wakanda.
Yeah.
But other than that,
like
and it was very refreshing.
Yeah. It's pretty too. It's colorful. It's purple.
So, yeah. It's a very expensive girly drink.
Yes.
And yeah, the whole Wakanda exhibit that they had. Did you post all the pictures for that already?
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice. We probably, because I saw other people's pictures, probably should have went back at night.
Yes.
Because everything's purple and all lit up.
We'll try to come back.
Yeah.
Well, now that Monsters Inc. is reopened, we will be back in that area.
Definitely.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, something positive came out of this. Well, not came out of this, but came out of Disneyland, is that their dining reservation cancellation policy changed. Mm-hmm. Now you can cancel a dining reservation 2 hours before.
Yeah. But why did they do that? You know why?
So everyone can take up the reservations.
Yeah,
and not
because they realize that there's such a demand for their restaurants. It's not like they're going to lose money. There's people. There's
cancel the day of.
We went to Lamplight Lounge and we were almost late, and then they say, "Oh, they're here," and people got mad because yeah, we almost snagged that. So that's another way of them trying to keep up with demand. So it wasn't.
Yeah, that's why it's like impossible now to get a dining reservation for anything because people will just snatch it up because now they have a more flexible cancellation policy.
Yeah. But,
But you can always do the walk up. So
it's good. It's good if you need to cancel and you don't get charged. So I guess that's a good thing.
I don't think they ever charged me for canceling last minute because I would be like, because, they have a waiting list.
Yeah.
So a walk up list. So I would be like, hey, I don't want to go. And then they're like, okay. It's like, you're not going to charge me, right? I'm like, no, it's fine.
It was kind of an unofficial policy anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
So Disney World. Oh, here's more bad news. Disney World rolls out the new park-specific ticket pricing starting December 8th. So right now, Disney World's tiered ticket pricing or whatever is like Disneyland, where the price is based on the day you go. Mm-hmm. But now the price is not only based on the day you go, it's also based on which park. So like Magic Kingdom will be more expensive than... Animal Kingdom. I think Magic Kingdom's the most expensive. And then Hollywood Studios, I think. Yeah. So now they're just all these fluctuated pricing based on day and park. So.
Yeah. I mean.
And that starts December 8th.
It would be cool if they would lower it, but they never lower it, right?
No.
It's always like, no, this is a price and it can get higher.
Yeah.
You can't go below this number, but it could go above this number. So
now there's all these variables.
Yeah. It'd be cool if there was like some really unpopular park one day and it's like, okay, $50.
109 is the cheapest. And I think that's Animal I don't think it's Animal Kingdom. I think it's like, well, let's see. Animal Kingdom is the lowest. It stays the same at 109 to 159 range, but the hike is with Epcot. 114 to 179, and that's why, because of that Guardians ride, probably.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then Hollywood Studios is expensive because they have all the cool rides.
They have all the cool stuff.
So,
yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, they didn't hit their earnings, and again, we're heading for some downtime. So we'll see if they can maintain that and how their census looks like in 6 months.
And aren't they not selling annual passes either? Or only to Floridian residents or something?
I don't know.
They're not selling new passes either.
So
anyways, so on to Star Wars and stuff, like movie news, not Star Wars, movie news. Movie and show. So Andor is a current Disney Plus show. And next week is the season finale.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be the first Disney Plus show to air on ABC.
Yeah.
So they're going to start releasing episodes on ABC.
That's how good it is. It really should be. I'm not saying that it should be on a network because networks are dying and streaming is up and coming. But this would be a show if it was released on a regular network like ABC, like back in the day. It would have had high ratings. It would have got like Game of Thrones type reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a Star Wars show. Mm-hmm. So that's what's so crazy because I would never have thought, and again, we're not going to say what happens in it. We're not spoiling anything. Mm-hmm. This is just my opinion of the show. I never thought I would care about acting in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This is a Star Wars show that is the writing and the acting have made it the best Star Wars show other than The Mandalorian, and those are just two different types of shows.
So are people going to think it's released on ABC because it was bad, though? People who haven't seen it will be like, whoa,
no,
must
because
not be good if they're putting it on ABC.
No, because ABC is entirely advertising based. It's an old school model. You don't put anything bad on ABC. It would go the other way. Because you dump stuff on streaming because everyone's paying a fixed price. Your price is coming from subscribers.
Right.
So if you think you can make money off of it by advertisers actually paying for it, that's when you would put it on a network. You have to think it's really, really good to put it on a network.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then the last news is that Margot Robbie says that her female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie is dead. And it says, so like, I guess previously there were rumors or like discussions that Margot Robbie would be the lead in Pirates. And they nixed it. And she says, I guess they don't want to do it. But I'm thinking maybe because Johnny Depp has cleared his name, so to speak, and maybe they want him back. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
my guess.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know.
Or they just want to leave it at that, like leave Pirates at where it is now. And
yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I saw the last one. I think we did. Maybe maybe we watched it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good series
during the lockdown.
I think it's a good series. But I mean, putting it, if they did like a pirate show, lower the budget, did a pirate show, I think that would probably be better.
Oh.
And then it's kind of like, but a major motion picture that takes up movie real estate for Disney, because you have to understand that Disney has so many, they're so big as far as a production company, and they have multiple production companies under the Disney banner. A lot of people always talk about how, with Marvel movies, they have to move these movies because, they have to delay this Marvel movie. But a lot of people aren't thinking about that. They don't want their movies to cannibalize each other either. They don't want like a Pixar movie. They don't want it like a Frozen competing with a Black Panther either.
That's why, like, randomly that time where Solo came out in May, when other Star Wars movies came out in December. Yeah. But that was because wasn't it Infinity War or something coming out in December? So they didn't want to release Solo in December.
It was just, so it's not like they just have to worry about their individual IP competing within the IP. They don't want their IPs competing with each other. Yeah. So when they're going to put out a movie, they have to have confidence that it's either going to make a lot of money, either at the box office, or it's going to sell a lot of merch or get Disney Plus subscribers when it goes on Disney Plus. It has to make some kind of huge amount of revenue. So they can't just do experiments anymore. They can't be kind of free floating like other production companies. So, all right. Well, that's it for us today. We will be back next week. We will have tales from our second week in a row at Disney. That's even a lot for us, but hey.
Second week in a row staying on property.
Yeah, we don't usually stay on property. We're Marriott members, so. But hey, don't
splurge during our anniversary month.
Yeah, it's our anniversary month, and it's Turkey month and Black Panther month. So, yeah, we will see you next time. Remember to give us great reviews and 5 stars on Apple or whatever you listen on, and that goes for any other podcast you listen to. So, I think that's it. Remember our giveaway? I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.